Hello everyone. A warm welcome to a fresh edition of Your Image, the public relations program on television, the only one in Africa. My name is Dari Folari. A warm welcome to you. Today, we are looking at the role of music in public relations activations. When we talk about public relations activations, we have events, and any event without the public relations flavor is a no event. Events like festivals, naming ceremonies, parties, and what have you. That's what we mean when we say public relations activations. And imagine a party without music. What kind of party would that be? Even funerals where the mood is sober, we have music. And my guest today, I have two juggernauts who are going to help to unpack this topic. I have a public relations expert, Mr. Bukola Olarinde Buki. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
I also have with us a minstrel and a sonorous one at that, Dr. Anu. You're welcome, Dr. Anu.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
Okay. So today we are going to be discussing the role of music. Let me start with you, Buki. Music in public relations activations. Music is basic. Even Shakespeare said, if music be the food of love, play on and give me excess of it. Any PR activation without music, what would it be like?
In fact, without music, there is no life. Music makes the mood, the atmosphere. It gives any public relation event life. It brings about memorability, and it brings about sonorous environment in which the activities that will make people to remember the activity for a very long time.
Right.
And without music, I can't just imagine what even the whole world will have been.
Without music, the world will be boring. Yes. In public relations activations, we actually have a minstrel, Dr. Anu Olariwaju. You sing.
Yes,
despite the fact that you have a PhD in mathematics, you still sing, find time to sing, and she's a gospel artist. So tell us about music. What's your first impression about music?
Okay. For me personally, music is life.
Right.
And in the real sense of it, music is an integral part of our society.
Right.
Every society, be it African, Western, music is an integral part of us. And for real, anywhere, like you rightly said, there's no society that music is out of it, or like nobody wants to hear music. Then that is must be a very boring, and definitely life is not there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. When we are talking about music, when we have a child, there are songs that we sing. Then let's go back to the basics. When there are songs that lull people to sleep, that we call lullaby. Let's look at it. Let's talk about the songs that you have for children. When you want to catch children, you give them sonorous songs that have sing-along ability. That's what we have in all these jingles, commercials, and all the rest. Yeah, Buki.
Music, like she has really said, we use music to catch attention. We use music to cool down when we are in kind of situation that is not that comfortable or convenient. Even for the children, when our children are home, when they are crying for one thing or the other, you see the parents singing for them different kind of lullaby that will make the child to feel relaxed, comfortable, to the extent that the child can even sleep up. So that shows the extent to which music has been very, very active in our daily life.
Okay, when we were young and we used to go to disco, what kind of music did you prefer then? Did you like the blues and the reggae?
Well, I like reggae, then blues.
Okay.
Whenever, especially Bob Marley.
Okay.
When the music is on, you see people dancing and shaking their head. To the extent that you have forgotten that you have any issue at all, whether financial or what have you.
That's why that as you said, one good thing about music is that when it hits, you feel no pain. Doctor, I know that. So tell us, you're a mother too. When you lull the baby to sleep, tell us about the soothing effects of music.
Okay. You see, music is a force. I see it as a force, and it's quite versatile. Beyond entertainment, there's a lot that music has to offer to our lives. So part of it, when we talk about the lullaby you just mentioned now, it's at the growing stage of a child, isn't it? And part of the lullaby, you hear the lyrics of the songs, and it entails a whole lot of, information that will pass across from a mother to a child. Part of it, there's no way a mother would not know the eulogy of the family, the family.
Compliment.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Now, somehow, there's a part of our brain, that music occupies.
Okay.
And that region of our brain, that part is responsible for our cognitive, cognitive functions, abilities, and this neurological sense that it develops, and gradually such a child is passed, and information is passed on to the child unknowingly. Gradually, the child becomes aware. He's aware of his identity, and aside the soothing effect on the child's awareness of his identity, and information that will be registered in the brain of such a child is being passed across through music, even though it sounds like, there are no instruments. The vocal itself is music. Okay,
our vocal cords has music underlying.
Exactly, it's a combination of vocals and instruments that will give us an harmonious melody. However, I can still sing now. That's why you have a cappellas. People who sing a cappella and they still make meaning to the society. So, in a nutshell, music is far beyond mere entertainment. It's educative. It has this way of inducing healing, and
therapeutic.
Exactly. So, many more.
Okay, Buki, when we are trying to come up with advice, that we appeal to children, we have this music that we appeal to them so that they will have sing-along ability. Tell us about that. That's the strategy public relations guys use.
In advert or in advertisement, we use music a lot. Not only in advertisement, even in public relation messages. If we introduce the music, it helps convey the message to the extent that the receiver would understand better. You just imagine most of our children at home, or students, most of them, they remember music a lot. You could just imagine a student singing a song from the beginning to the end. If we ask such students to come and memorize what they have, come and say what they have memorized, they find it difficult. That shows the kind of magic the music performs in our lives. And public relation messages, we use music to accompany it so that it will be well delivered.
Yes, we use music to reinforce it, reinforce the messages. So, Madam, Uncle Jimmy Sholanke of blessed memory used to use music a lot. We call it dramatization of information. Use music to sell ideas, even if you want people to change their habits. Use music to sell. Talk to us about that. You are also a cultural person.
Yes, I am, and it's one of the things I cannot toy with. As a matter of fact, like I said earlier, music is a potent, it has this power to charge our emotions, charge our, personalities. We can use to reorientate people.
The society.
Yes. And you will see that most of our living legends and even the past ones that have written, composed and performed songs that have made impact in this generation and the past ones, they have taken their songs from the wells of the wisdom of the elders.
Wow.
If you agree with me, you will notice that some of these past singers, that were actually cultural. You know, some of them picked the lyrics of their songs from
folklore.
Yes, from
history.
Basically from history.
Right.
And from the odus of this, of our Yoruba, Ifa, and all of that. And all of these things teach morals. Now, if you go to religious music, you will see that most times, the songs that are so lifting, so nurturing, so nourishing, they are songs that have been taken from psalms, you know, that have gotten inspiration from divine. And such songs, for instance, we read about King Saul, who was tormented at the time with spirit of insanity. You call for David, his family, to come and play his instruments and sing alongside. And by the time he's done, then he's cured, he's calm. So with such will I call it the therapeutic effect of music. And then morals that is being taught through those, you know, and then this song also by the late Orlando such songs, they have taught us morals and they have built character over years, you know, for many that actually acknowledge.
Well, in the lens of philosophy, and we know that through music we have philosophical things, especially our evangelist professor Ebenezer Obey, through his music has been teaching morals and everything, and also using biblical tropes. Buki, what's your take on that?
Well, music has been used for moral teaching, and the lack of Dr. Ebenezer Obey I just mentioned. I could remember some of the record that we have. It's full of meaning. It's full of teaching. It's encouraging. It's uplifting. When you are in a dilemma, when you are in a situation that it seems there is no way, when you listen to music psychologically and emotionally, the problem will be solved. So the likes of Dr. Ebenezer Obey, they have done very well. Not only him and all the big names in the music industry. They have used music to correct, to chastise, and to bring advice, and also to encourage us that don't worry. If today is not rosy, just believe that tomorrow
will be better. Okay, just believe that tomorrow will be better. Let's talk about having planning programs for youth. You use artists as bait. For instance, if you are planning a youth-centric program now, and you want the youth to go, you look for the popular artists like Olamide, Ashake, and all the rest to bring that. So tell us about this pull effect of music.
Hi. Well, this is a tough one, and I never, envisaged I'll be asked this kind of a question. I always try to avoid it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Because, anything that has to do with our youth today, one has to be very careful so they understand you they grab that point you're trying to make.
Okay.
Yeah, so now the power that music has, to gather crowds, music has it to an extent that they get the audience, to participate in that event. And it has the power to instigate anything. Emotionally, it can be positive and negative.
Right.
So, and the youth nowadays, if you observe the kind of music they want, is that music that is happening now.
Right.
It might not be the now music, and they want to energize they want to prove the energy and all of that, which is actually good. However, I would use this medium to encourage that while they want to be who they are, a smart artist, a smart youth will make an hybrid
Okay.
a fusion
Okay.
of the old, the ancient, and modernizing.
Okay.
You know, we have some artists that are doing greatly well with that now, so that then we will not miss and lose out our cultural heritage.
Okay.
You know, so that the language. I'm not talking about linguistics now. I'm talking about the street language that will be passed across to the next generation. Will be that with our whole we have, our identity, and the quality of what we have inside of us.
That's a very strong point, because in our messaging, we shouldn't lose our culture. Buki, what's your take about that?
We shouldn't lose our culture. That is very important, for especially those that practice music, because you find out nowadays that most of the music being rolled out does not portray our society in a good manner. We have different type of music that corrupts minds, that teaches immorals, and that encourage our youth to go after money. And in that aspect, that's where my concern is, that if you're having the kind of music that does not, show the kind of people that we are African, give respect, we are very cultured when we are talking to our elders, and so that's where my concern is, that those that practice music and real life music, they must be very, very careful in order to not pollute and cause more damage.
Yeah, let's quickly look at religious aspect now. Hebrews 13:16 says we should praise the Lord, the fruits of our lips, and then that praise and music transforms you into heaven. Dr. Olariwaju, have you experienced this uplifting of by music?
Sure. You see, like I said earlier, music is a force. It is divine. And definitely, it's a bridge, that connects the earthly to the divine. Like I said earlier, you see, these songs that we talk about, there's a way it portrays something which is actually not, it's supernatural. Either divine or wherever it might have come from. So I strongly believe, even in the inspiration that will give you that song you want to bring to the world, bring to the to the masses. So generally, I will say I believe strongly in songs that connect the soul, to the divine. Yes.
Okay, Buki, here we've been emphasizing the need to be cautious in your messaging. If you want to have an event, you need to be cautious in the choice of artists that you bring to that event. Tell us about that, so that public relations practitioners who are watching you will learn a thing or two.
Well, we have to be very careful the kind of artists that we invite to our programs. Somebody gave me an illustration recently. It happens that we want the students to come together. I feel the kind of moderation. Most of the students are asking for these hip hop artists, but the organizer in their own wisdom, but in gospel artists. And they really enjoy themselves. So we have to be very careful the kind of artists that we invite.
OGTV celebrated 50 years recently, so I'm tempted to ask Dr. Olariwaju, sing for OGTV.
Okay. The 50 years anniversary. Ofe àádọ́ta ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn yọ bí oṣù mẹ́rin aṣíwájú la jẹ́ òṣìṣà lọ bá ìràwọ̀ olólàdì lọ bá ẹran nígbò àwa ti jù wọ́n lọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn yọ bí oṣù mẹ́rin aṣíwájú la jẹ́.
Thank you very much. That's very lovely. Okay, we still have short time. What of sing for OGTV and join it? OGTV, the people say. OGTV, yeah, And on that musical note, we'd like to call it a day on the program. I'd like to thank you, Dr. Anu Olariwaju. Thank you for these compositions on the spot. Thank you very much for coming onto the program.
Thank you.
And until next week, when we come your way again with a fresh edition of the program, on behalf of other members of CRPMOS, Aki Okudero, Dara Adebisi, and a host of others, this is your sincerely Dari Folarin saying bye for now.